And hello, everyone. Welcome to our power scanning session. My apologies for the slight delay. I completely messed up the time difference. I was in a different webinar just before this, and then typically I have 1 hour difference between these two webinars, so 1 hour break. And with the daylight change, this break went away to 0 minutes, and then I completely was not prepared to start this one on time. Regardless, I'm ready to go. Hopefully you guys are too. It is March 15, and I can tell you one thing. This is going to be an interesting webinar for the most promising setups for the week ahead. Why? Because with the latest retracement in the market, latest correction, there are plenty of key opportunities which are presenting themselves to us right now. So please don't miss out for this. Let's get started. All right. So, quick reminder that we are tradingindicators.com. My name is Daniel Sinnick. I'm the guy here on the left-hand side, and we have been in business for almost 10 years. We're nearing our 10 years anniversary, and we specialize in building innovative trading tools. We built a lot of trading indicators, but also powerful scanners. And one such scanner we are going to use today to find the most promising setups for the week ahead. And as you will see, using this scanner is very straightforward. And actually quite simple, quite mechanical, as you may say. And these are things that everyone can do at home just for following a couple of steps, which I'm going to share with you in this webinar. Before we get into it, please, if you have any questions, we have Niklas in the room. He's going to look out for your questions. So please put them into the Q&A box, and we're going to get to these questions throughout this webinar. Also, if you have any symbol requests, please don't hold back. I'm happy to look at these symbols as well. All right. And one last thing. If you trade futures or stocks or FX or options, please keep in mind that trading does contain substantial risk and therefore is not suited for every investor. If you trade, make sure to only use risk capital, which is money that you actually can afford to lose. When it comes to backtest performance or hypothetical performance, keep in mind that this is not necessarily indicative of future performance, and any ideas and setups and strategies discussed in this webinar should not be construed as trade advice. These are for educational purposes only. All right, a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, if you have not watched our bootcamp on Liquidity View yet, now is the time. Simply go to tradingindicators.com/bootcamp. And the reason why I'm saying this is because in this bootcamp, we are explaining every single feature of our dashboard. And there's so many features in there. In these webinars and these scanning sessions, we can only use a few of them, but there's so many more. So please check out this bootcamp at tradingindicators.com/bootcamp. And Niklas, please also put this link into the chat box. Next, Discord. If you have not joined our Discord channel yet, please consider joining. It's really a fun place to be. So I know Niklas is very active in the Discord channel, but also many of our members are very active in our Discord channel. Go to tradingindicators.com/Discord to join this Discord channel completely for free. And last but not least, of course, if you have not tried out our Liquidity View dashboard yet, that's the dashboard we're going to be using right now to find the most interesting setups for the week ahead, please try it out. You can sign up for a full week trial simply by going to tradingindicators.com/view. Go there, sign up for a week trial, and you can follow along interactively in today's session. Best of all, you will get instant access. So once you signed up, you can use the dashboard right away. So please consider this. And one last thing, if you have not downloaded our ebook yet, please consider downloading it. It's called The Power of Three, where we are discussing our most powerful setups that we'll be using today. Our zone break retrace setup, our bounce setup, our zone break setup, and so forth. So please check it out. It's a free ebook, and the link is here, tradingindicators.com/power-of-3. And last but not least, if you guys have any suggestions on how to further improve our dashboard, by all means, please don't hold back. Your suggestions, your feedback is what drives our development. Now, we don't want to, just add features which we think are useful. No, we want to hear what you think could be a useful addition to the dashboard. So please don't hold back with your feedback. All right. So with this, let's get started. Let's start with our market review. And oh boy, what turbulent, what a turbulent week once again we've had last week. But you know what? Before we get into the indices, interestingly, and I was so happy when I saw this a bit earlier this morning when I looked at our watch list from last week. Most of these setups that we discussed last week, they were all bullish setups. They worked out beautifully. So even though the entire market has plummeted, all the big indexes were falling, except for on Friday, our setups did actually quite well. And once again, this shows you the power of these key levels that we are able to identify using our liquidity view dashboard. So we're going to get to this in just a bit. So market reviews. I'm going to switch over to our dashboard if I can find it. There we go. Okay, so that's our dashboard, view.tradingindicators.com. And we're going to start off with the SPY. So what has happened in the SPY? Oh boy. Yeah, turbulent times. So the index was extremely bearish all of last week, except for Friday. Some people say, hey, we had a full moon on Friday. The option professor, Jim Kenny, you may know him, said in his newsletter, hey, every time we have a full moon, something big is happening. So on Friday, we did have the full moon and the market turned around a little bit. We'll see if this was a lasting turn or not. But overall, we can see here that we did lose support. So this support level did not hold up. And also our trend channel, which we had drawn, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, was also broken to the downside. So what does this mean now? Well, first off, all right, we lost support. And one may say, okay, maybe, if this Friday rally was not lasting, the next level, which would be of relevance, is all the way down here at the 510 level. So this would be the next technical level after this one was lost. It's possible, but you know what? I'm not so pessimistic. Not yet, not quite yet. So I'm an internal optimist, perhaps. I think perhaps this was just another correction, something similar to what we had seen before. And what do I mean by this? Let's measure. Let's just measure how big this correction actually was. So I'm going to go here to TradingView, and I'm going to use our ruler tool, this one here. I'm going to measure from the top that we had back in February the 20th, all the way down here to our low. How big was this? 10.16%. So the market lost roughly 10%. All right. I mean, this does not sound so dramatic. Of course, we lost our support. We lost our trend channel. Trend radar went all the way on all levels bearish. Okay, so it's big. It's a big correction. But this happened in the past before. I'm going to show you an example. Look at this correction here. A big one in July, August last year. How big was this one? I'll let you guys guess. Well, if I measure it out, go to the measuring tool here from the top all the way to the bottom. How big is it? 9.82%. That's also roughly 10%. So these things are happening. These corrections are happening. Although at that point, we corrected only to the second MA rush line. Price stopped almost. Actually, went all the way here. Huh? Did I measure this correctly? 1 second. Let me just do this one more time. Maybe I actually went all the way here. This is, okay, 10%. This was correct. So went all the way to this level here, and then we pulled back. In this case, we went all the way down to the third MA rush line, which, in some sense, may act as dynamic support. Why dynamic support? Because this one changes with every new candle. It's not like static support as these key levels here, which are based on past swing points and some other criteria. This would be a dynamic support level based on an average, a mean. So this is what's happening in the SPY. It's oh boy, I'm curious to see what happens on Monday when the market opens. Will we see a couple of bullish candles? If yes, maybe it's gonna be similar to this. After this big correction, we may see another rally to the upside coming. If not, I believe the 510 level will be our next stop, and this correction will be much bigger. All right, so that's the SPY. It's very similar in the QQQs. If you go to the NASDAQ 100 ETF here on the Qs, what do we see? Well, we'll see. We did break our trend channel. Yes, we lost this support/resistance cluster here at the 500 mark, and now we're trading at the 568 mark. Also a bullish day on Friday. Yes, the market turned on Friday, but we are kind of in no man's land. You see this one here? The next technical level would be all the way down here at 423. This would be a support level, or on the upside, it would be here at the 503 mark, we're kind of in the middle of these two. The only thing that I can see right now is similar to the SPY, we are near this third MA rush line, which, as mentioned before, may be some sort of dynamic support. So also here, let's see what happens on Monday when the market opens. I'm super curious to see that. Okay, one symbol which has a much clearer outlook. SPYQQ is somewhere in no man's land, but the Russell is a bit more interesting from a technical point of view. So let's go to the IWM. What do I see here in the IWM? All right, let's wait until the slows. Look where we ended up, directly at this key support level, which was established a long, long time ago. If I scroll all the way back, this level stems from October 2024. This is when the indicator showed us this level. So identified this level as key support, and look what happened. We wicked towards this level. You can see it here, almost to the T. Yeah, all the way there. We have a liquidity capture event. It's a bit hard to see, so let me enable the labels real quick. Liquidity captures on. You can see it on the last bar, or not on the last bar, but a couple of bars back, a liquidity capture event, which is a bar with abnormally high volume, which can be interpreted as big buy orders are stepping in, driving the volume up, and in turn also driving price up. And we're going to see a bounce off this support level. And this seems to me like an interesting opportunity. Yeah, perhaps, this was the bottom in the Russell, and we're going to see a swing further up. So interesting times. Also, it will be interesting to see how the market opens on Monday. What about let's look at the VIX. We almost never look at the VIX, but let's have a quick look at our VIX. Yeah. So people say it's the fear gauge above 18. Sometimes above 20. People say, hey, we're going to see, prices to go down. And if it's below 18, maybe even 14, 13, prices are going to rise. Exactly. This is what we saw here. Look how far it went. Went all the way to 28. It's not a crazy high number. Of course, if we go a little bit further back, the last bigger crisis was the Japanese carry trade situation in August. The VIX went all the way up to 65. Of course, it can go much, much higher, but it is high. Did we see a high point here, high swing point? Maybe, because it's been going down a little bit since then, now closing at 21. If the VIX falls below 18, I think we may have seen a bottom in the indexes and prices are going to turn around. But once again, we have to wait and see. All right, so that was the VIX, but let's look at something more positive. What about gold? How is gold looking? I was so hopeful that we're going to see a retracement down to, let's make this a bit bigger, down to our target zone. We are almost there. Let me just hide this indicator real quick. I want a price to go, actually, let me hide this indicator here. I want a price to go all the way down to this level here, which would be a great entry price for a zone break retrace setup. We missed it by just a little bit, by a couple of cents, and then prices turned around and made all-time highs on Friday. So this is a classic, one of our classic setups. Resistance was broken here on Jan 30. Prices went up, corrected themselves, little fake out, down towards the broken resistance level, not to the dot. It stopped before, and then it turned around once again for one leg higher. So this is our classic zone break retrace setup. So now off to all-time highs, and now once again we're gonna have to wait until we see a correction in gold, perhaps a pullback in trend radar down here, level 3, level 4 pullback, before we may consider re-entering into gold. Look at how beautifully these pullbacks have worked out in gold. There's not a single indication in MA Rush on this snapshot of the chart all the way back to November 2023. That's a long time, where we went below level 4. Here was the last time, in November 2023. But before this, only level 3 or level 4 pullbacks or less. And every single pullback in gold has been bought since that duration. No wonder gold is so bullish. So here, I would wait to see if we can see another pullback in the gold contract. All right, so this was gold. And what about oil? And then we're going to look at Bitcoin last. So USO, the United States Oil Fund, opening it up. Yeah, oil, I mean, I'm repeating myself every week. Oil is business as usual, stuck in this broad sideways channel between 83 and 63 down here. We are once again on a leg further down. A bit of a retracement last week, but I think we'll see what's going to happen. But if we see another pullback towards this level, one may consider a bounce of it, as we've seen it before. Or if we break it, this would be our next stop here at 66, and a bounce may happen from that level. But overall, we are caught in this rather broad sideways channel in gold and oil. Sorry. Okay, so one more thing. Bitcoin, BTC. Where is it? BTC USD. What's going on in Bitcoin? All right. So, yeah. What do we see here? Well, is it just me, or do I see a really long-term zone break retrace setup? So we broke above this level here at 73,000 back in November 2024, right after the elections, I believe, or right before. Yeah, price really went up and made all-time highs, but then we retraced back to this level. This is classic zone break retrace. And I think this is a very bullish sign for Bitcoin. If we hold this level, I think we're going to see higher levels in Bitcoin, and prices are going to recover from this. And once again, some people say by June 2025, so in 3 months from now, June, July, we may see price of 150,000, because history tells us that, hey, 18 months after halving, after the mining computation process became twice as complex, yeah, we see a tripling of the Bitcoin price, which would bring the price by June 2025 to a level of 150,000. We'll see. But at least now we filled this level here with our zone break retrace finally, and we may see higher level in Bitcoin as a result of that. So also interesting times here. Okay, so this was our market review. And Nicholas, do we have any questions at this point that came in?
Yes. So we have a couple questions here. So Vince just pointed out that, yeah, some stocks lost 30 to 40% over this drop. Gerd just says hello in German. So if you can read that one, Daniel. And then from John, he says, is there anything that tells you that we get a further bounce on the indices to a certain lower than previous high point then to be determined? So I'm not sure if you can have a look at that one, Daniel. Tells you we get a further, maybe I guess John is asking, is there anything telling you we might get a further move down before we bounce? Or
It's
if we're going to
really hard.
bounce
Yeah,
higher up than we were
it's
before?
it's hard to say. We're kind of in no man's land, as you can see it here on the SPY. We are below this support level, which we lost a couple of days, weeks ago, and now the next one will be down here. Also broke this trend channel. It's really hard to say. To me, it's not a clean setup. It depends on the market opens on Monday. If we print some bullish candles, we price recovers, and we're getting above this key support level here at 576. I think the bulls might be back in charge, and we see another push to all-time highs. If, however, we see some bearish days rolling in, I mean, it is not unlikely that we may see a pullback all the way back to 510. That's the next technical level. So it's kind of course, we might go up or down. Oh, duh. Of course, that's what it's going to happen. But I need to see more bars rolling in to make a prediction of what will happen. I mean, I'm always biased to the bullish side in the indexes, but the question is, how deep will this correction be? So it's been 10%. We saw 10% here as well. We are near, the only support I see is we are near this dynamic support of Emmy Rush. That's the only technical level which might be relevant. The other ones, we're just in the middle of things. So we have to see until more prices are rolling in.
Perfect. And then the last one were just symbol requests, which we'll get to later on.
Perfect. Okay. Alrighty. So, by the way, guys, and I forgot to mention this, let's have a quick look, just for the fun of it, what happened with our last week's picks. All right. So every week, as you know, I am creating a watch list of the setups which we picked from the last week. So last week was March 8. You can see this watch list here. I click on it, and these were our setups. Let me delete this. So these were our setups. We had 7 setups. In fact, only 6. So only the ones with trade notes we actually picked. So what happened to those? So what happened to SNEX, International Firestone? So here, very nicely, we went last week into our fill zone. So prices dropped into our level for zone break retrace. We got our fill, and on Friday we are now above this level. So this one looks pretty good. We got our fill, and it is not uncommon that we will see another leg higher, especially since we had this. Oh, this gap was already filled, so never mind. So yeah, this is a fill here. So things are looking all right. So far so good. AJ Gallagher. Yeah, also here, we get our fill. Prices dropped exactly to where we thought they're going to drop. Yeah, we had this big bar on Friday last week. And we thought, hey, maybe we're going to see another leg further down towards this broken resistance level, which would then lead into another leg higher up. So also here, this bounce has happened nicely. Orly Automotive, another one. I believe where we get our fill. And now look where we are. Beautiful, beautiful bounce happening here of this level. So this was also nicely done. Northeast banking. Yeah. Also here, look at this. Into the level and the bounce happened. So not too bad. Williams cost. This one is beautiful. This was actually our trade of the day on Tuesday. If you were in our lunch and learn sessions, we called out this trade as the one which looks the most promising. And look how beautiful this bounce has happened here. This was not a zone break retrace. It was a bounce setup combined with a level 4 pullback on trend radar for a long-term bullish stock. Beautiful. And now you can see it here in the indicator. We are in a magnet zone. Exactly what we predicted. We're going to bounce off this level towards the middle in between support and resistance. This is exactly our magnet zone setup right now. And one more, Brown and Brown Inc. So here also we had our our correction down to our entry area here with this candle. We made it down there and we saw the bounce happening as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. This all looks promising, I should say. So hopefully this week we can find similar setups as well. Okay, so let's move on. Where are we? So I'm gonna go back to my slides real quick. And by the way, in case you guys are wondering what Gerd was saying in German, he said, "Hey, Daniel, that was a seamless transition from my German webinar to this power scanning session because, as I said in the very beginning, I confused the time zone just for 1 second." Okay. All right. So also this week, we are trying to find high reward and low risk setups. So what does that mean? Well, these are, first of all, aggressive setups because we are aiming for a lot, but we want to risk a little. Of course, if you're being very aggressive, it may not work out. And we're trying to give our trades a very tight stop loss. So if we lose a little. But of course, the implication of that is that, hey, because of the tight stop loss, we may get stopped out also every once in a while. That comes with the business. If this is not your cup of tea, use a wider stop loss, especially for stocks which are long-term bullish. Using a wider stop loss, perhaps at the key level, which is further away from current price, further below current price, gives this trade a bit more room. So we can, play the setup the way you want. The way we typically play it is with a fairly aggressive stop loss. That's my trading style, my personal trading style. But trading is personal in general. So if you're more comfortable with a wider stop loss, by all means, this can be an option as well. All right. So our process today is we're going to focus on one setup at a time. And then we're going to create a hot list. And then at the end, we are going to do a detailed analysis of these stocks in our hot list. All right. Let's get into it. So setup number one is, and at some point I really need to update these slides, is a combination of healthy pullback and bounce. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, healthy pullback happens if we are, first off, in a long-term uptrend. You can see it here. Prices are going up very nicely in this chart here. So this is condition number one. Condition number two is we see a pause in trend. Yeah, prices have been retracing, correcting to the downside, but not arbitrarily, to a certain level. To, for example, in this case, a level 4 in trend radar. What do I mean by level 4? Well, I mean that, hey, the first 4 rows are red, for example, here, but the last one is still green. We call this a healthy pullback, meaning, hey, we are still in a valid long-term trend. Yeah, but we're seeing a pause in trend right now. And chances are, hey, this trend will continue in the upside direction at some point. All right, so this is a healthy pullback. Now, to further increase our chances that this actually will happen, we also would like that this pullback, this correction in price, coincides with a key support level, which would be our bounce setup. So it's a combination of healthy pullback and bounce we are looking for right now. If price approaches a key support level, this red level here, as you can see, and it's then bouncing off this level towards the middle, in between support and resistance. All right, so how can we find these setups? So back to our dashboard. All right, 1 second. There we go. I'm going to clear out our, I'm going back to our end of day full scanner. And by the way, guys, I don't know if Bill is in the room, but we just recently added about 50 reverse ETFs to our scanner. So thanks, Bill, so much for sending us these symbols. These have been now added. And guys, if you have any symbol requests, please send them to us. Send us the ticker name and the actual name of the symbol, and we're looking to add these ones to our scanner in the week and weeks to come. Okay, so we are looking for a bounce setup together with a level 4 pullback. How can we find these? Well, let's start with the pullback. I'm going to go to our pullback column here and select level 4 bullish pullback. All right, done. So now we're down to only 156 stocks. Wow, that's already a big filtering. Okay, but that's not enough. I also want this symbol to be in a bullish trend. So I'm going to use MA Rush and select bullish. All right, and now we're down to, let's have a quick look, 152. So we've filled out a few more. And last but not least, we want this setup to coincide with a long bounce setup in Liquidity IQ, meaning the price is near a support level. So once I do this, we can see it here. Wow, we're now down to only 8 stocks. Of our 5,000 stocks, only 8 stocks survived this very stringent filtering process. Isn't that cool? All right, so which ones do we have here? The first one that comes in mind is XLC. So the sector ETF from the S&P 500, the Spider ETF for the communication sector. So I'm going to click on it, and we can see. All right, well, definitely there's some sort of correction going on. Okay, but if I zoom out a little bit, we can also see that, hey, this correction in communication coincides right now with a key support level. See this little reddish area here? That's support. And if I enable the labels in Liquidity IQ, this one here, you can see, yeah, they're labeled as a support level. Here, support zone. We're exactly there right now. But in addition to all this, we are also bullish for 431 trading days. That's a long time. If I scroll back all the way back here in our chart, we can see that MA Rush, yeah, shows us a bullish label. To go even further back. Oh boy. Even more. 1 second. Now, hang on. Did we miss it? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's the bullish label on June 26, 2023. Since then, MA Rush shows this stock as a bullish stock. So yeah, if you count the bars, it's exactly 431 bars or 431 trading days. So bullish, bullish, bullish. And on top of all this, we are seeing a level 4 pullback in Trend Radar. Awesome. So this is a very interesting stock. I'm definitely going to add this one as a candidate for a long entry, the Spider ETF XLC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my watch lists up here. I'm going to create a new one. I don't know how many we have already. And we're going, oops, where is my, 1 second. What happened to my, did we just discover a bug here? Hang on, let me clear some stuff out. 1 second. Okay, maybe I just discovered a bug. Maybe it's related to the amount of symbols, watches we have. Take this one out as well. And this one as well. All right. So now let me try to create one. No? Oh, there we go. Okay, it's there. Oh, it's a small glitch. So if you have a lot of watches, I guess at some point we cannot see these two buttons here, create a new one or import one. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm definitely going to address this in the future. So setups, colon 2025, March, and it is March, it is 15. Yeah, March 15. There we go. All right. So I'm going to create this watch list. I'm going to add this symbol XLC to our watch list here. Done. Edit. Perfect. We're going to get back to this in a bit. The next stock we have is IDT Corp, also in the communication services. What do we see here? Yeah, bullish for 277 trading days. Have a quick look what's going on here. Yeah, bullish since this date here. It's a bit wild for me. I don't like the way how volatile this one is, but we are definitely near this support level. And you know what? I'm just going to add it as well to our watch list. Why not? We're going to revisit these ones anyways. And perhaps one more. Legend Pharmaceuticals Inc. Yeah, also this one here bullish for 277 trading days. We are also at this key support level, level 4 pullback in trend radar. And yeah, we can see it here, a stock which has been quite bullish. And now we're right at this level here. So also this one could be interesting for a potential bounce to the upside. So I'm also going to add this one to our watch list. And you can see how easy it is to, find these interesting setups. And by the way, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, in our dashboard, you can see all kinds of other information about a particular symbol. For example, this one here, Legend. I have no idea what they do, even though I have an idea. If I read pharmaceuticals here, we can see they are in healthcare and they are in biotechnology. Yeah, I can also see, hey, the headquarter of this stock is in United States. All right, like most of our stocks, of course. And if I want to have additional information, I click on this info box here and I can see, hey, this one develops and licenses biopharmaceutical assets worldwide. Yeah, and you can see which drugs this stock actually manufactures. But this company, quite interesting. All right, and based in Jupiter, Florida. Interesting. All right, so this is all possible now with the latest version of our dashboard. And by the way, all these feature requests, they came from you. And because they said, hey, Daniel, wouldn't it be nice to be able to filter my stocks by a particular sector? Well, done. Maybe by a particular country. Yeah, maybe you're interested in Chinese stocks or German stocks or, I don't know, other stocks. I can do that too. All these things are now possible with this latest version of our dashboard. All right, so that's that. But let's move on because I want to talk about another setup, our zone break retrace setup. And Nicholas, before I do we have any questions right now that we can address real quick before we move on?
No, we do. It's all symbol requests still.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so back to my slides and let's go to our next setup. And I'm going to combine two setups in one shot, our zone break setup and our zone break retrace setup, because particularly the zone break retrace setup is of particular interest to me. Okay, so what is a zone break? Well, a zone break is when either support is lost and price will then follow through to the downside. You can see it here, or resistance is lost and we see a follow through to the upside. Can see it here very nicely. Yeah, support was lost and price moves on to the downside direction. But oftentimes we do see, before price really accelerate in the direction of the breakout, a retracement back to the broken level. So in this case, we can see here, yeah, a retracement back to the broken support level. That's the initial market fake out, which happens so oftentimes. And only after that fake out, the price really accelerates in the direction of the breakout. And this can happen in the bearish direction, but also in the bullish direction. You can see it here. Zone break above this resistance level. Price initially goes up, the fake out back to the broken level, and then things really accelerate to the upside. That's our zone break retrace setup. And it's a very powerful setup, one of my favorite ones. So let me show you guys how you can find this setup with our dashboard. So back to the dashboard. I'm going to clear out all the filters by clicking on this yellow box here, this bottom here. And I go to Liquidity IQ and now filter by zone break retrace. You can see 16 symbols survived. Okay, that's not a lot either from 5,012 symbols. So which ones are these symbols? Okay, so first one we see here is AGG, our classic, classic symbol. Arthur Gallagher, we're still in the same area. AGG was on our list last week for an entry. We get our fill, and now we're still in the proximity of this former resistance level now acting as support. I still like this very much. I'm going to add also AGG once again, if you're not in this stock yet, to our hot list for the week ahead. So I'm going to add it. Oops. Add it to our watch list. All right, done. Next in the list is T-Mobile US. Okay. Let's have a quick look. And we can see here, yeah, beautiful zone break retrace setup. And that's a stock which has been bullish for 736 trading days. And on top of all this, we do see a level 3 pullback and trend radar, which is also considered a healthy pullback. So once again, this could be a very interesting setup to go along. Yeah, if prices are bullish on Monday. So here ideally, I mean, I hope we didn't miss it yet because you can see it a little bit here. Let me just change the background just for 1 second to make this a little bit clearer. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. So you see it here. Look what happened here on, you know, hide this one too. On Wednesday, March 12th. Look where this candle wicked into. Almost to the cent to our support levels. The support was right here at 248.21, and the low price of this candle was 228.26. Yeah, 5 cents different. Yeah, exactly to the support level. If we see another pullback towards this level, that would be great. A great long entry opportunity. But even right now at current price levels, I think this stock might be bound for higher levels and at least near the all-time highs here at 275. So I'm going to also add this one to our hot list. All right, done. Okay, so next, ESCO Technologies. ESE. What do we have here? Yes, what's going here? So bullish for 576 trading days. We had this huge move up. And now a bit of a retracement. I mean, it is an interesting setup. A little bit of a warning sign here is that we had this big gap. You see this one here? And, you know, gaps tend to be filled over time. And by the way, guys, on our to-do list for the next month, or perhaps the middle of this year, is to create a brand new gap indicator, which will show to us right off the bat, hey, which gaps have not been filled yet. Because, you know, this gap filling is something which happens more often than you think. And over time, these gaps tend to be filled. Let me show you a little detour. We have a bit of time. A little detour what I mean by this. Let's go to Tesla real quick before we discuss this stock further. So let me quickly go to Tesla, because this was the poster chart of a gap fill, what we saw on Tesla. You know, Tesla, of course, has been in the news a lot. But what actually happened here? So look at this. Of course, we gapped up all the way here on October 24. We had a big up gap, and then another gap up here, I guess, in the right before the election. Then the price just went to all-time highs. But these two gaps, this one here and this one here, they were not filled. Meaning price, even though, even when we had 480, these gaps were not filled. And you may say at this point, hey, yeah, okay, no way. These gaps are going to get filled. This is too long ago. Prices are too far away now from these levels. Well, guess what happened? Look where we got now. Yeah, we filled the first gap on, I guess, around this level here on March 10, or maybe a bit earlier. And then we were on the way further down. We lost this former resistance level and actually put on a trade in our account that, hey, since we filled this gap here and we lost this level, my trade was a short trade to fill yet this gap here as well. And guess what happens? We filled this gap on March 12th, and now all these gaps here have been filled. And hey, prices now, turned up a little bit again after these two gaps are filled. So gaps tend to be filled over time. And hopefully, when our new indicator will come out in the middle of this year, we have some statistical evidence to that, hey, these filled to, I don't know, 85% of all time, so 90% or something like this. So stay tuned for this. Okay, but I digress. So where were we? We were at our zone break retrace setup. Okay, so once again, let me open it up. And we talked about ESCO Technologies. Yeah, definitely a zone break retrace. I would stay away for two reasons. First off, prices are already quite far off this level. And even if we see a retracement back to this one, this big gap here scares me a little bit. We just talked about gaps. It may get filled. If it gets filled, prices need to retrace back to the support level. So that's definitely on the table. A bit too risky for my taste. So I'm going to skip this one. Let's go to the next one. Visa. Visa Inc. Yeah, I like Visa a lot. A nice and steady uptrend. You can see it here. Steady highs. You're making higher lows across the board and higher highs. But now we had the correction after the zone break here. We broke above a resistance on June 22nd, all-time highs, but now the correction back to this broken level. I definitely, like Visa for this. Been bullish for 532 trading days. That's more than 2 years. Yeah, nice stock. So I'm definitely going to add this one to our watch list. All right, perfect. And perhaps one more. Let's take this, this German stock here, Scout 24. I know we always have some German clients in our room. Also a beautiful zone break here. Retracement down to this level, textbook. And now we're actually too far away. So I'm going to skip this one. This was beautiful on Wednesday. And by the way, guys, if you have our dashboard, you can do these scans every single day. So these update every single day. So now we're scanning based on Friday's data. But if you use the dashboard, you can do the scan on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and so forth. Yeah, based on those data, and you're going to find much more setups.
Hey, Daniel. We have a comment here from John. He says T-Mobile US got downgraded on Friday, so just be aware it might correct even more for a buy entry.
Okay.
And then Stephanie says, has a question. Daniel, you took a screenshot of AJG last week. Is it possible to retrieve the screenshot from last week and also the notes? Can you show them again? It doesn't work for Stephanie.
Oh yeah, definitely. So gonna click, but these notes are for these are my notes. These are not your notes. So notes are personal. They're personalized to your account. So you will not see these notes. And if you don't see these notes box here at all, that means it needs to be enabled via the settings. You click here and enable notes via this little see the switch here, the note switch. You enable it that way. So once enabled, you see this little notes symbol here. And if I go click on AJG, you can see, on March 8, we took exactly the screenshot with our entry price right there. That was on March 8. And guess what? I'm going to add another screenshot for today because this is one of our stocks that we're going to consider as well once we go to our hot list. Any other questions, Nicholas?
Nope, you can keep going.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So we had Visa, we had Scout. He were too far away. Let me just quickly look at this one here, EVD.
Daniel, actually, I missed one. Sorry. Ed wants to know, is there any way you determine when a gap might be filled? So when it might happen?
Right now, I don't have an answer for this because, as you can see with Tesla, this can take quite a long time. So it can take months or even longer. But what we are envisioning is to have some statistics. So every stock is a bit different. So, for example, we could show you statistically, hey, what's the average gap fill time for a particular gap? And then we can even distinguish by the size of the gap. Like a small gap might get filled within, on average, 10 days. A big gap, and we have to find some criteria for that as well, might get filled within 2 months or something like this. I think once we have these statistics, I can give you a better answer for this. And perhaps there's some pattern that we can find, and maybe all stocks kind of have a similar gap fill statistic that way. I don't know. That's a good question, a really good question. And I think we're going to have an answer to this, or a better answer to this, a bit later this year. So please ask me again at that point. Any other questions, Nicholas?
Sorry, I was muted. No, thank you, Daniel. Perfect answer.
Perfect. All right, let's move on. So, this one, I'm gonna skip this one too. I think this is a bit too volatile here. Look at this big swing. So I like stocks similar to Visa where the uptrend is so nice and clean. It's a beautiful uptrend in Visa here. And so this is my favorite, more favorable one where these swings, the corrections within the trend are not too big. And one more, let's go to this one here, the FTSE 100, also a nice zone break retrace. Look how beautiful this happened. Zone break retracement down to the level, and then we pulled further up. But also, once again here, we are a bit too far away from the level already. And maybe one more time, Seneca Foods. What do we see here? And yeah, this is an interesting one too. So bullish for 286 trading days. We had our zone break here on March 3rd, and then the retracement back down to this level. Now maybe I'm going to add this one to our watch list. I'm just curious, what was our trade note? Oh, on Jan 1st. What do we say here? This is so fascinating to see what we thought back in the day. Of course, I forgot what we said. So here we said, for example, hey, on Jan 11, we had also a zone break retracement. Look at this one here, a different one from a previous level, down to level 68 as an entry. Yeah, which would have worked out beautifully because now we're trading at the 84 levels at the upper end of this trend channel. So yeah, I'm going to add this one too because this worked out nicely in the past. Why not double down on that particular stock? So I'm going to add this one to our watch list as well. All right, perfect, guys. With this, let's move on to our hot list now. Let's see which setups did we find for the in our watch list. So I'm going to open up this watch list. I'm going to clear out our filter, and we can see we have 7 symbols right now. So let's go through them one by one, starting with our bounce setup. Okay, so the first bounce, and this is bounce with a healthy pullback. So the first one here, I'm going to actually start with, one second, XLC. Yes, I like this one. I think it's a beautiful setup, directly down to support here. Nice uptrend, very consistent uptrend with corrections which only go down to level 4. Once again, we're down to level 4 here. I like it. I'm going to definitely add this one as one of our hot symbols for the week ahead. So I'm going to add a trade note here, and I'm just going to add a screenshot of the chart as we see it right now. So hopefully next week we can come back to this one to say, hey, Daniel, this one worked out nicely as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So I'm going to close it. Okay, that's that one. Let's move on to this one here. Legend Pharmaceuticals. It's kind of interesting too. It's definitely more volatile. You see these big swings here. And oftentimes with these pharma companies, you never know because they are so news driven. If a new medication comes on the market or is disapproved, or some people complained, or there's a lawsuit starting, these swings can be quite big. So if that's your cup of tea, this could definitely be an interesting stock to trade. It's been bullish for 277 trading days. Now a nice correction to this key support level, which held before at this point here. So, you know what? It could be of interest. So I'm going to add this one as well to our hot list for next week. All right, done. Hitting the screenshot and closing it out. Okay, IDT Corp. Okay. Yeah, very gappy this one. Big bars across the board. But nonetheless, a level for pullback in trend radar. Let's see what happened prior to this. Just real quick. Yeah, we had this bit of a downtrend here. Came all the way down from 67. Now we swung back up. Now trading at around 46. Let me just see real quick. Is there anything of interest coming out? Actually, one thing we forgot is to see, hey, are there earnings coming up anytime soon? Let me comment on the earnings date here. No, only on June 3rd. That's good. And what about dividends? Is the stock paying us a dividend? Let me just quickly see. Dividend yield, 0.51%. So very little. And indeed, it's decreasing its dividend. Not sure I'm going to read something into this, but you can see the history of the dividends. It's definitely going down. And dividends are also not, oh, actually, but we can see it, they are not paid out consistently at all. So we had dividends in 2024. All right. But the last one before this was 2018 and before. Interesting. This is actually one, if you're a dividend investor, this is key information because you want, of course, focus on stocks which consistently pay dividends, not the ones like this one here, which erratically pays them. And that's the luck of the draw, whether you're going to get one or not. All right. You know what? I'm going to skip this one. It's a bit too wild for me, this particular stock. Okay, moving on. AGG. Yes, I like it. I'm going to double down on AGG. We are still near our zone break retrace level here. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So we had our entry already there. But if you're not in there, if we see a bit of a move further down, to this level. I'm going to draw it in one more time. Just a second. Yeah, this is our key entrance level here. If we see it down there, yeah, this could be another long trade or long entry for AGG. So I'm going to add another trade note to it. And by the way, guys, as you can see it here, we had a trade note on March 8th. Now it was further. Well, this was March 8th. Now we can add another one with today's timestamp, but simply by clicking on this plus box. And by the way, you can see it down here on these four levels, on these four lines. See, hey, we had four trade notes before. You can scroll. See this? Very cool. So these are our trade notes from before. So I'm going to add one more to it. March 15, today's date. I'm going to add also the screenshot. And of course, any annotation that you will add to the chart will also be reflected on these trade notes. And of course, there's more stuff you can do. You can put text there. You can even dictate your text. You can put formatting and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Visa. I like Visa. Definitely going to add Visa as my trade, as an interesting trade idea for a long entry. So let's go Visa as well. And ideally, once again, not sure it's going to happen. I'd like to see a retracement down to this level. We'll see if the market will do us any favors when it opens on Monday. But yeah, this could be an interesting one. So I'm going to add Visa to it. Also, this screenshot. Perfect. Okay. And finally, we have T-Mobile US. And what was that comment again? That it was downgraded somehow? What, Nicholas, remind me quickly. What did
That was
I think?
AJG.
Oh, AGG got downgraded?
AJG. J like John and then G like
Yeah, Arthur J.
Gun.
Gallagher. No, I think
Yeah,
you
that
said
one.
didn't you say this was with T-Mobile, or did I misunderstood?
Am I
Oh,
wrong here? Well,
that was T.
you might be right. Sorry, I might be confusing them.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. T-Mobile, my mistake.
Oh, okay. It was downgrade from JP Morgan. He's no Citigroup in the outlook from bullish to neutral. Got it. Okay. Well, you know what? These experts. I'm sure they have more information, more fundamental information about this stock. But from a technical point of view, this looks pretty bullish to me. I'm just gonna add it to our list as well. Yes, there's a chance that this gap here, of course, that's a gap, may be filled. If it does, we see a correction all the way down here. So take it as your own risk. I'm gonna highlight this one here as a gap. Can I put a text note here too? Mind the gap. Isn't that what they say in London in the subway? All right, mind the gap. There we go. Okay, so we have our gap here. Whatever. It's just a little gimmick. We just maybe make this white. All right. And maybe a bit bigger. Okay. This one here. But still, I like it for a bullish trade. I'm just going to add it to our hot list as well. But yeah, if we this gap fill hasn't been done yet, but we may see still another leg higher up. If we do, just make sure you have a tight stop loss and maybe book your profits early, because this gap, you're right, might be filled over time. And one more, Seneca Foods. This one. Yeah. Let's have a quick look here. I like this one too. We had this in the past, as mentioned before, and also here. I would like to see perhaps price moving towards this level. If it does, yeah, a nice long trade with a fairly tight stop loss right below this former resistance level. And here we may also see another leg further up. So I'm liking this one as well. Adding another screenshot to it, another note with today's timestamp and a screenshot. All right. Perfect. I think we have a nice set of symbols for the week ahead. And of course, fingers crossed that they will work out just as nicely as the ones we had in the weeks ago. All right, now we can take some symbol requests.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start off. Could we go to tradingview.com because this symbol is not on our dashboard?
Yeah.
At least I don't think it is. It's called Athabasca Oil Corporation, ATH.TO. So
ATH.
.TO on the
This one.
TSX.
Yeah, this one here. Okay. Oh boy.
This one's interesting with volume IQ too, if you want to plug that on.
Yeah, let me do that in just a second. Let's have a quick look first. What's going on here? Oh yeah, it's actually quite bullish. I wonder what is liquidity IQ setting here. It's 1 day. That's okay. Just hide this for 1 second, guys. Just want to see, when did we swing to bullish? Yeah, that's nice. Look how precise Emmy Rush worked here, actually. Getting these swings in and riding it all the way down. So bullish since March 23, the 23rd of March 2021. Okay. Nice up move, beautifully from a penny stock. Wow, crazy. To what a sizable
A
move.
thousand
Nice.
percent or more.
Yeah. And let's have a look here. Oh yeah, good call for volume IQ. So what do we see here? Well, prices have turned down. You can see it here. Now, the sentiment of volume IQ, for example, has become bearish, and we are now nearing this zone of control. And if you know volume IQ, our indicator, if we are nearing the zone of control from the bottom side, this may act as resistance. This could be an interesting sell opportunity to perhaps sell, go short this particular stock. Of course, you would go against the overarching trend as per MA Rush. So yeah, but it's definitely at a critical juncture right now. If we clear this level, yeah, if you don't want to go short here, if we clear this level to the long side, then I'd say we are blue skies ahead all the way to this all-time high here at 5.78. So yeah, definitely an interesting juncture point right now for this particular stock.
Yeah, if it can get above like 515 or 520,
Yeah.
it's a nice long.
Yeah, of course, there's low volume here. You can see it here, and price may just fly through these areas here. The next bigger level, I guess these all-time highs may act as resistance at that point.
Perfect. And then I think we can go back to the dashboard. The next one, I think, are two similar ones. URA.
All right, URA,
Yeah.
Global Uranium ETF. Yeah, what's going on with uranium? Okay, yeah, we are. Let me just quickly look here in our scanner, scroll over. Oops. Sometimes when I share my screen, it's a bit sluggish. So bullish for 283 trading days, now at a long bounce, set up for 7 days. We can see it here. Price has been hanging out at this key support level for quite some time. If you scroll back, yeah, see how similar to oil, it's been range bound from these lower levels to the higher ones. I like this one actually for another leg higher. So if you want to speculate a little bit, say, hey, this is going to hold up, similar to what it did in the past year, we might go all the way up back to this resistance level at 31. Hey, could be an interesting trade. Yeah, I like it.
And there's UNG.
All right. UNG. There we go. Let's see, find it here. UNG, United States. Oh, natural gas. Yes, of course. What's happening there? This was also on our radar quite a bit. And we said actually did we say a short last time at this key resistance level? Definitely bearish, I believe. Let me just quickly have a look. Yeah, bearish for 546 trading days. We wicked up a little bit above this resistance level, but now it looks like we perhaps turn to the downside again. It is a bearish ETF. Look where we came from, all the way from much higher levels. I still like it for a short. I would not go long personally. It's just I don't like to go against like overarching or these powerful downtrends. That's too risky for me. But now, if you want to go with the trend, yeah, you have a bit of a pullback here as per trend radar. So we corrected to the downside to this resistance level. Actually, trend radar is not showing this. And now we may see another leg down if this resistance level is holding up. We went a bit above, but not convincingly. So prices turned again.
Perfect. Okay. And then we had, sorry about that. Perfect. Okay. And then we had a comment saying that MasterCard looks like Visa. Yes. Probably pretty similar charts. Now from Gerd, he wants to see CWE.
CWE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearwater Energy or something.
Yeah. So bullish for 128 trading days. Short bounce setup. I didn't even click on it yet, but I can read it already here just by looking at the scanner. So we're near resistance. And this is the big dividend pair. I like it. So 5.92% dividend yield. And let me just see if these dividends are paid out consistently. Yes, look at these history. Very consistent and it's increasing. So that's good. Nice, interesting stock. It's okay. Let's take a
I'm
look.
not sure if that's the right stock. That's CWEN.
Oh, it's not clear. Oh, it's Clearway. Ah, I will check in a second. Okay. But anyways, also this one here, maybe this was the stock you had in mind. It's it's definitely at a resistance level. It looks like it's gonna go down a little bit, so prices may be trapped in between resistance and support here. But what was the other symbol again? The
Same
name of
symbol,
it?
but no N, just CWE. Looks like we don't have it.
Yeah. Maybe I go
Maybe
look
it's a
at it.
German
Look.
stock.
Yeah, what's the name of the stock? CW.
I don't know. There's no name, but just CWE. Maybe
Oh,
it's
maybe
Crown
this one.
Energy German because it is from Gerd.
Oh yeah, I'm not touching this one. Too little. If that's the stock, that's something which looks a little bit too erratic to me, or something off of these prices.
Must be a
Yeah,
different symbol. And
yeah.
then from Ed, G triple R. So GRRR.
G R
Never
R
heard of that
R
symbol before.
and G R R R. Yeah, this one. Okay, let's look at trading view. GRRR, Gorilla Technology Group. Oh boy. Yeah, it's what's going on here. These are some crazy moves of that stock. Oh my God, look at this. These are to me very hard to analyze. If you have erratic stocks like this, I mean, our technical indicators are, I mean, they're good at finding these trends. I don't know since when we are. Oh my goodness, where's the stock coming from? I don't know. That's the stock which I think I'm also gonna stay away from. It's hard to analyze. It's way too erratic for my taste. Yeah, but all right.
Perfect. And then, okay, from Aubrey, GILD. So
Yeah, this one
Gildan
for sure.
Sciences.
Yeah, this one for sure we have. All right. Alrighty. So this one, yeah, here we are a bit extended. Of course, we're coming back a little bit. The pullback trend radar shows a level 2 pullback. I would love to see this come down to this broken resistance level here if we see it, even though we also have the gap fill here. So yeah, I think, I mean, if we believe in gap fills and the whole philosophy I said, we may actually see a bigger downtrend commencing right now in an attempt to potentially fill this relatively big gap here. So I don't know if you want to speculate, highly speculative, maybe buy some put options here. Bet on the fact that hey, we're gonna see down lower levels. So I think in any case, this correction is not completed. It might go a bit further, at least to a level 3 or 4 pullback, which may bring it up to 105 maybe, or even back to the zone, or even go to this gap here. So to me, speculative at least. I'd say maybe this correction is not over, and we see a bit of lower levels in this particular stock.
Perfect. Okay. And then the next one is, well, from Anonymous here. Thinking about getting a dashboard subscription, are you going to be adding Volume IQ in the future? And I think that's a plan for this year, right, Daniel?
It is on our to-do list. It's a big project though, so this will take a while, but it is definitely something we are considering. Yeah. And by the way, we do have big plans for the dashboard. Just to give you, there's just so much stuff we want to do. So the gap indicator for some statistics is one thing we want to do. We want to add seasonality information to the dashboard. Stuff like, hey, Apple has been on average going up 5% in December, right before Christmas. Stuff like this would be great to see. Or for stocks or maybe indices and stuff like this can give you great insights. And of course, volume IQ, adding additional volume information would be of something of interest as well.
Perfect. Okay. And then the next symbol is from Kevin, SLV.
Yeah.
And I'm going to answer a question from Ed. So Ed wanted to know, probably in reference to MA Rush, how is the switch from bull to bear triggered? Is it by specific candle patterns or moving average, like a 9-day or 20-day, simple versus exponential? So it's really not that simple or something you can replicate. It's actually based, like Liquidity IQ, on multiple higher time frames than the chart. So it looks at 4 higher time frames, and then it calculates a total of 12 different period volume weighted moving averages and has like a way of fusing them together to come up with these readings to
Yeah.
try and like
And
filter out the noise and make these switches from bull to bearish last as long as possible. But it's not something you can just simply replicate with moving averages or something like that.
yeah, and that's by design. So we want this indicator to hold on to a trend direction for as long as, in quotes, humanly possible. So you can see it here in this one, silver. It's bullish, but we had these bigger retracements throughout, but the indicator didn't change its mind. We kept bullish, and this is by design. Yeah, we don't want this to alternate all the time as you see it here. This is not what we want to see very often, because then if you were to follow these signals, you probably would lose money. We wanted to stick to a trend direction for as long as possible. And oftentimes that's the case. Okay, so silver, it's bullish for quite some time, since March 2024, but now we are approaching this resistance level. So if you're thinking of buying it right now, I'll be careful, because you may see a bounce off this resistance level. But overall, it's bullish. I'd love to see it maybe to pull back to some lower levels and then enter long into silver, or I wait until we clear this resistance level and then go long silver. Yep. Any other symbol
Perfect.
requests?
Yeah, and thanks, Kevin. I pronounced Gilead as Gildan, thinking of a different company. And the next symbol is Eli Lilly, LLY.
We
And
already
then,
had that one, yeah, but
oh, okay.
I'll look at it again real quick. Oh, did we? Oh, maybe not. Oh,
I think I
that
think
was my
last
German.
week.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused. Yeah, I like it. It's a very bullish stock, bullish since 1,317 trading days. But we're now caught in this range bound pattern here between support and resistance. Looks like may see another leg down towards this support level. If we do, if we get anywhere near 724, this could be a great long opportunity for this particular stock.
Perfect. And then can we look at Nvidia?
Yeah,
And David wants to know, would that have been a long bounce 1 to 2 days ago?
let's see. Uh, here, unfortunately, I mean, it was definitely a long bounce when we were in this level here. This is where I would have called it. Prices went down a bit further in Nvidia. These zones not always hold up to the penny. So we went further down. Yeah, but if you had a more wider stop loss, perhaps below the support level here, this could have been still a nice opportunity to go along Nvidia. Prices now are turning up, and Nvidia has its big developer conference starting on Monday, and God knows what they're gonna reveal there. There's a big keynote speech from the CEO of Nvidia coming up. There's Quantum Day, so I think this is my gut feeling. We're gonna see a higher prices with Nvidia in the next couple of days, especially if this huge and highly anticipated developers conference coming up. By the way, guys, something I wanted to mention, if you haven't checked it out yet, uh, on our YouTube channel, I'm just quickly go to trading indicators. Oops, trading indicators. Let's show you real quick. Go to our YouTube channel here, the little YouTube icon, click on it. And if you, once you're in there, oops, once you're in there, you will see our, if I posted it, yeah, this one here, quantum, an options webinar on quantum stocks. So if you want to get some exposure into stocks which are on the quantum field, check this one out because there we are discussing some very interesting opportunities, but just speculative. That's why we're trying to play them with options. But if things, of course, take off and quantum technology may have the power to become the next big tech revolution. So after the internet, after cloud computing, after AI, the next big thing might as well be quantum. So if you want to jump on that horse, on that train, check out this webinar here on this particular topic, which was super fascinating. The option professor was there sharing with us his views. So watch the recording if you want.
Thank you, Daniel. And then the next one is from Dan
Yeah.
Root, ROOT.
Yes. ROT.
And Dan said he has to go. You can view it on, yes, you can view it on our Vimeo page. Oh no, on our scanning link, which I'll send you the link here in the chat to see the last recording.
That's right. It's also on our YouTube page. There's a group there. Real quick here.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, it's even easier. So if you go on our YouTube, live market scanning is the category, and every single recording is hosted there. Perfect. All right, that's that. Real quick, back to the dashboard. Any other symbols? Maybe two
Yeah,
more
it was
before we.
root from Dan there.
Oh yeah, I don't know why we don't have root. We should have it. Yeah, very bullish. Oh boy, what's going on here? Let me just put on our liquidity IQ indicator. Yeah, we did have a zone break. I can see it. Oops, just go here. Zone break just recently here. And yeah, it seems to be clearing this resistance level here. A big up move on Friday. So yeah, it looks very bullish to me. So I anticipate the prices will go up at least for a little bit, maybe to like 170 area. But then we may see a retracement, the fake out that we see so oftentimes back to the broken level. So always watch out for this. Maybe even to fill this gap, which has not been filled yet. And then prices may take off to the upside again. All right.
Okay, and then maybe a couple more. We have Pfizer, and we also have a comment here from Gerd. I don't know if those are German stocks or German words, Daniel. You can have a look at Daikin and
Yeah.
Bechtel. Bechtel.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna skip these. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, let's just move on.
Okay. And then yeah, Pfizer, PFE,
I like
and then we can
Pfizer.
wrap it up maybe with
Yeah,
this other
PFE.
one from Aubrey, a Chinese stock afterwards.
All right, so PFE. All right, let's have a look. Pfizer. I like Pfizer for two reasons, at least two reasons, maybe three reasons. First of all, it's a huge company, kind of the too big to fail category. They're working on a million things. They, of course, had a big downturn after COVID. The COVID vaccination was not relevant anymore because COVID is done, which is nice. But it's a stock which pays a high dividend at 6.69% dividend yield. And these dividends, if you go to this hover box here, you can see it here, they are increasing year after year. So it's a perpetual dividend payer paying dividends. So if you're a dividend investor, now it's the time. Why? Well, first of all, dividends are paid out consistently. But secondly, you can now buy a whole bunch of stocks at a discount at 25 bucks a stock. So you can load up. And if you have a really long-term perspective, an investor's perspective, I think Pfizer could be a very interesting candidate. It's a huge company. And, eventually it is not unlikely that prices will turn up. In the meantime, you can collect dividends and perhaps even reinvest dividends. I really like Pfizer from that point of view. And we are also at this support level. Look at this. So this perhaps another sign that hey, prices may have reached a bottom and things may turn to the upside again.
Perfect. Yeah. And one last one here from Aubrey. I'm looking for bullish Chinese stocks. Can you check out XPEV, XPEV?
Yeah.
And
By the way, yeah.
is this a retrace to a recent breakout and there's earnings coming up?
Okay, let's have a look. So first off, if you're looking for Chinese stocks, you can simply do a country filter here, put China. You can see we're tracking 140 Chinese stocks. All right. And then you could, in theory, also sort Rush by or filter by only bullish ones to find the most bullish ones. And we have QD here, for example. God knows what they're doing, but they seem to be bullish. Nice zone break retrace here. Okay. Anyway, so what was the symbol?
XPEV.
X
PEV.
XPE.
There we
This
go.
one. All right, let's have a look. Okay, yeah, earnings coming up on the 18th. They are in car manufacturing. Okay, let me have a quick look. Is this one of these new smart electric vehicles? Yep. Office SUVs. Okay, interesting. Now, this is a great use of this info box here. If you don't really know what a stock is doing, you can check it out here. So earnings coming up. Yeah, could be definitely of interest. And let's have a look at the chart. What's going on? Bullish. Yeah, I mean, with earnings coming up, you never know. But this is okay, I guess it's just maybe not so bullish after I see the history of the stock. Let me just quickly see what happened. Oh boy, they used to be very expensive. Yeah, I mean, speculative. God knows what's gonna happen at earnings. Not sure how. Yeah, we are right at this resistance level too. I'd say things are gonna move. That's fairly certain. So maybe it's not too late to buy a strangle. Even though it's probably going to be too late, options prices are going to be too expensive as this earnings state is already priced in. Yeah, maybe. I think things are going to move. Whether it's going to be up or down, hey, that's everybody's guess when earnings are coming out. So, but we are at this resistance level, and we just recently, when was it? 100 something days ago, 88 days ago, we turned bullish on this stock. All right. Okay, maybe one more Palantir, and then we just
Palantir,
really,
yeah.
yeah, real quick. Palantir, what's going on there? Okay, yeah, gap fill. Yeah, look at this. Gaps are getting filled. I like it. It's a good stock. Look at this gap. Big gap. We filled it shortly after. Now we're near this key support level. It is very bullish for 425 trading days. I'd like the stock perhaps to even go further down towards this level here to 66 and then consider a long entry. But definitely it's a bullish stock. And this correction could be a great opportunity if you don't have any exposure to Palantir yet to reinvest into the stock. So yeah, I like it. I like the fact that, you know, they're very bullish and they're also very diversified. They have all these big government contracts. And I think these are essential contracts which Doge cannot cut so easily. So I think they're positioned quite nicely. What we're seeing here is just a natural correction after a very steep move up. All right, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel.
Well, thank you guys so much. Let me just go back to my slides for just 1 second. So if you have not downloaded our ebook yet, please consider downloading it, tradingindicators.com/power-off-3. And of course, if you want to give our beautiful dashboard a try, as you can see, it's quite something. Go to tradingindicators.com/view to get 1 week of a free trial for our dashboard. And if you're interested to stay along, we have interesting monthly and yearly options for it. And of course, don't forget about our bootcamp, where every single feature of this dashboard is explained. And we have also the Discord channel, which you should not forget about. With this, guys, first of all, thank you, Niklas, so much for helping me with the questions. And thank you guys for asking all these questions. And if we have overlooked a question, please reach out to us via our homepage, tradingindicators.com. Go to the main menu, click on contact, put your question there. It will go straight to my inbox. And yes, I will address these questions as soon as I can. With this, guys, have a great St. Paddy's weekend. Don't drink too much. Stay safe. And I see you all on Monday for the next session. Happy trading, guys. Happy weekend. And bye-bye.